Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, ding! You're getting used to that now. Let me know if you're getting bored of it. It feels like a bit of a tagline for myself now. Feels like I don't have to think about how I open every video. So, yeah, it's easy for me. But, yeah, let me know. Today's video. Auctions. Quite frankly, it's doing my head in. It's doing my boxing because I'm bidding on, well, stuff I wouldn't normally bid on just because I can't get the stuff that I actually want. So I'm sure you're all aware, I'm sure you all know, but my stock generally, is first-time driver cars, right? So we have Corsas, we have Fiat 500s, lots of them. I was looking at my stats, actually. I keep saying about how often or whatever I buy Fiat 500s. I've had more Corsas. I've had more Fiestas. What else have I had? i10s, one i20, which sold in 26 hours. Might have to get some more i20s. But sometimes that's a mistake. I've had them in the past where I've bought a car, I've sold it immediately, so I've gone and got another one straight away, and then it's sat there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's the market, innit? It's just so random. If you've got one interested party, and that's all it needs, yeah, one interested party to take that car, one customer comes, likes the car, gone. Easy. As that i20 was. Anyway, going back to the point of the video, yeah, auctions. So I went to Mannheim a couple of weeks ago with Danny Boy. You've probably seen that video already. If not, then I'll just overlay it here and go take a look because yeah, it was a good video, that one. I enjoyed spending time with Danny, and yeah, we had a bit of a good laugh. So yeah, have a watch of that one. But while we were there, the prices on the stuff that I wanted, well, there wasn't that much there that I wanted actually that day. Was probably only 5 or 6, and the prices were just, you know, a lot more than probably what they should be. So even if you look at Cap Clean, so if you really think about Cap Clean, that should be the maximum you're paying for that car through auction. Cap Clean's become, well, just a irrelevant marker, really. I mean, how I do my cars, so I use a process called Retail Back. So I'll have a look at Auto Trader, which is the main platform I use. I'll have a look at what that car will sell for on a forecourt. I'll drop about probably between £300 and £500 off that because I'm selling from home. And that'll be my marker. That'll be what I sell for, or around that. Sometimes it tweaks depending on what bid then you put in. But by working that out, excuse me, you know your bid. And it's important not to go over that bid that you've set. So, for example, there is a Corsa going through today. It's in my watch list. It's a 2008 plate Corsa. So it's an old Corsa. It's only done 49,000 miles, right? Cap Clean is 640 quid. I mean, that's a low Cap Clean, but it is 08. But it's only done 49,000. And then when you look at the bodywork and everything, it's a grade 2. It's got a very, very, very short MOT, as in a few days. But the MOT history for it's brilliant. So, what would you bid for that car? Bearing in mind, you can't retail back that one because it's an 08 plate. So it's too old for Auto Trader to give you a recommended retail price. So what I then do, I go on Auto Trader and I have a look and I see what they're selling for. So that particular car, there's about 3 or 4 versions of it. It's a Corsa Breeze. There's about 3 or 4 versions of it on Auto Trader as we speak right now, nationally. So then I'll normally knock it down to 50 miles from where I am. That left 0 cars. Good start. That is a good start because it means there's non-local. So then I put it up a little bit more and I put it to 75 or 80 miles. And then there was 2. So them 2 cars, one was a private seller at 2295 and one was a garage at 25 or 2495. So if I go somewhere in between that, I'd probably pitch that car at, I might even do it at 2295 to be fair. depending on what the bid is, the winning bid, you could even go lower. So let's just say that the retail back on that would be 2295, right? And the cap clean's only 640. So that gives a bit of a chunk. Don't forget your auction fees. So I've put in my head, and I've put on my notes as well on the auction page, that I'm going to go to a maximum of 1.2 for that. That would double cap clean, by the way. Then I've got my auction fees, which for that's probably going to be about 200 and I'll say 300 quid just to be on the safe side. So that's 1,500 quid I'll have outlaid for that car. And I need to put an MOT on it, right? Which I don't see any problem with that just from the history of the car. It's got a good service history. But other than that, that probably leaves me, best case scenario, 700 quid. So then I worked all that out and I was like, right, I probably need to go a little bit lower than that. I probably need to go best bid £1,000, then go to 1.3, including auction fees. So that gives me a little bit more scope. It gives me £1,000 if I want to sell it for 2,295. And if I want to be, a bit quicker on the sale and I want to sell it for, say, 1,995 and let it fly out the door pretty quick, then it leaves me 700 quid. So I'm happy with them margins. Some people wouldn't be. Some people say you're absolutely crazy, etc., etc. I'm happy with them margins. So if I'm happy with it, let's go for it. The problem I'm finding with auctions at the moment is everything's going over cap clean, regardless of what it is. So a couple of examples from this week. Well, what I did was I had the i20, picked it up on Tuesday. It's in the last video. If you've not seen it, check that video out as well. I picked up on the Tuesday, I got it back, I cleaned it, my mechanic was at my house anyway to service it, did that, and then sold it on the Wednesday. So since Wednesday, and we're now on Sunday, and I love a Sunday auction, bargain time. Shouldn't tell you all this stuff really, should I? In fact, when I went to the auction, I met a fella and he told me off for giving secrets away. He said, you need to stop telling everyone how to do it. It makes it more difficult. I'm like, mate, I've got 1,000 people, right? It's not going to make any significant difference to you, my friend, yeah? I'm just open and honest and I'll tell people what I'm doing. And if they like it, great. If they want to try it, great. I'm here to help. I've had a few emails actually recently with people reaching out for me to help them, which I'm like, whoa. I didn't ever think that anyone would really want my advice. But yeah, if I can help you, I will. Email's in the description. Drop us a line. And that's for anything, by the way. If you just want to have a chat about cars or whatever, I'm up for that too. So, yeah, drop us an email if you want to get in touch. Going back to the point about auctions, it's just crazy. Some of the cap cleans are doubled. They're doubled. So it's that retail back process for me is really important that I get that right. So since Wednesday, selling that car, going back to the point, I've been bidding. I've bid on quite a few cars, actually. Again, all my stock, yeah? All my stock. I nearly went with a Mocha, which is not my stock. I've had one before. Caused me a few issues, that Mocha did, but nothing serious. It was the 1.7 diesel. It needed a couple of glow plugs and stuff, but it was all right. In fact, it's my second ever video, so if you want to watch that, go back and watch that. You can tell how crap I was back then. And how relaxed I am now. Yeah, so I think, going back to the point again, because I keep going off track, is that the auctions at the moment, car sales, even though I've just sold it, that last one I had in 26 hours, seem to be quite slow when you talk to people in the trade. Some people are struggling for any sales. I was talking to Dan at Rhubarb Carbs yesterday, and he's just like, man, I'm dead. So, I suppose it's the market that we're in at the moment. Kids' holidays are coming back again. They're always on holiday, the kids, aren't they? And that normally slows things down. Then you've got just generally, summer holidays, etc., and all that stuff. So, yeah, listen, it'll come back, obviously. It's just about getting the right price, the right car, and then making the right profit, and then moving on. So, yeah, I've had Corsas. I've been bidding on Corsas, Fiestas, Fiat 500s. There was a Fiat 500 that went £700 over cap clean, right? And I bid up to 500 quid over cap clean just because I thought I can do something with that. And I love a Fiat 500. So I did that, but I didn't win any of them. Didn't win any of them. A Seat Me, went with one of them, didn't win that. And I'm not being tight, by the way. I'm just being sensible. I don't want to bid too much to then, make no profit or take too much of a risk on a car that you think needs loads of stuff. I'm just not in it for that. I want to make sure I get the right car for the majority of my customers that would like, not just, for instance, if I go and buy a black Fiat 500, that's probably not really in my target audience. Although I sell Fiat 500s, a black one is not as popular as the blue, the green, because my target market for Fiat 500 is girls. So, black cars are great, by the way, because they never go in or out of fashion, do they? But just as one example, I like the coloured ones in the Fiat 500s. There was a convertible Fiat 500, mint green, with a brown roof. No, thank you. No, thank you. That'll sit there forever. Every time I'm getting a Fiat 500, my wife's then looking at it and going, should I swap this one for that one? I don't think she's actually going to have a car now. I think she's just going to have to just keep swapping whichever best Fiat 500 I get, and I sell the other one. So yeah, that's an interesting dynamic that's now forming as well. But yeah, generally, just to finish up this video, auction prices are insane at the moment. I'm really struggling. I could buy stuff, but my margin's going to be like minute. And I do find it harder. If you're at a garage forecourt and you've got 10, 20 cars, yeah, you can probably suck a couple up. But when you're doing it like I do it at the moment anyway, where you've got 1 or 2 cars, and my drive is pretty damn full, yeah, at the moment with my own cars, the classic Mini, for instance, even though it's really small, it still takes up a space. My daughter's car, which is not even past the test or anything yet, that takes up another space. My car that I'm in now, the Merc, my wife's car, there's only certain spaces I've got. So if you add another 1 or 2 onto that and they hang around, it's a nightmare because I've got to reverse every car off the drive before getting the one I want out. Yeah, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. So I either need to find somewhere to store some cars, which is a possibility, or I carry on as I'm doing it, but I just have to get the right car at the right time, which I found relatively easy up to this point. It's only been the last couple of months that I've found that it's been really hard to get the right prices. And even when I'm watching other channels or whatever occasionally, and they're saying auction prices are crazy and all that, I've probably not found that until now. So this title's probably going to be UK auction prices insane or something to that. That's not clickbait. Yeah, that's what I'm absolutely finding right now. Let me know in the comments if you're a trader, if you're finding the same, if you're finding it difficult. And let me also know in the comments how you price your cars. Do you retail back? Do you do something else? Do you pay for an extortionate Auto Trader pack and it gives you all the stats? I don't do that. I pay per advert at the moment. Doesn't make sense for me at the moment where how many cars I'm going through to have any kind of package. If it's under 2.5 grand, I used to use eBay. If it's over 2.5 grand, I use Auto Trader. At the moment, I'm just putting everything on Auto Trader and it seems to be working quite well. That's not the difficult. The selling is not the difficult process at the moment. It's the buying. But as we all know, buying is where you make your profit. And on that note, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.